Hello and welcome to this Ebase Xi video tour. My name is John Brantford and I'm a consultant for Ebase Technology. And in this video we're going to take a look at the Business Process Manager. The Xi Business Process Manager is an enterprise-level workflow development system that enables the automation and tracking of your business processes. It is tightly coupled with the rest of the Xi toolset and provides powerful integration capabilities. Let's take a look at a workflow process so we can familiarise ourselves with the design environment. The central panel is where all workflow development takes place. There are a number of different icons visible across the top of the designer screen. These are used to add specific workflow steps, for example, new tasks, decision points or connector lines. Plus, there are additional features for validating, testing and releasing the workflow process. There are also panels for managing the data that comes in and out of the process. This could be a single piece of data stored in a process attribute, or repeating data in a table. And finally, there is a panel for defining the properties of a particular workflow attribute. Okay, so now let's take a look at the example on screen. This process is based on a help desk ticketing system. Users can create new tickets, resulting in a new task being assigned to the help desk support team. Depending on the action taken by the team member, the request will take a specific route through the workflow process. This may result in the ticket being directed back to the requester, or it being closed. Before we look at the process in more detail, let's quickly run the example and see how it's implemented in the browser. Firstly, let's log into the site and go to the Help and Support section. We're going to create a new ticket, which is going to be a bill query for the mobile team. We'll enter a brief description of bill too high and submit the request. A message appears on screen to inform us of our unique ticket ID. We now need to go and complete the next stage of the process, so we need to log out of the system and log in as a help desk team member. Here we find a new task awaiting action under the Mobile tab section. We can open this by clicking on the ID and add a brief comment. Your bill has been adjusted. If we click the Close button, this will notify the underlying workflow process. The final stage in the process is an automated system task that sends an email to the requester to notify them of the ticket closure. The process is now complete. Okay, so now let's take a look at the underlying process in a bit more detail. If we drill down into our help desk workflow process, we can see the workflow process has two interactive tasks, one for the initial requester stage and one for the help desk team. We also have a couple of decision points and a final system task that requires no user interaction. In our example, this just sends an email to the requester. Let's take a look at the help desk team task and see how it's configured. We can see it has been defined as an interactive task and that it has an interactive activity assigned to it. If we open the assigned activity, we can see it has an Ebase Xi form name specified. This is how the system knows which screen to open when it reaches this stage. We can also see a number of input and output parameters. To illustrate the link between the form and the workflow, let's open the associated form and see how data is passed in and out of the process. So here's the form that backs the interactive task. And if we take a quick look at its properties, we can see that it has a workflow tab, and it's here where we define what data should be passed to the workflow process, known as output parameters, and what data is passed from the workflow process to the form when a task is opened, known as input parameters. If we go back to the help desk team task configuration, we can see there is a mappings tab to define where data is mapped to in the process, and we also have a resources tab. This is where task assignment is defined. So at this point I think we need a brief description of what we mean by task assignment. By task assignment, we mean the process by which the system knows who to give the task to. The Xi Business Process Manager does not prescribe how an organization's task assignment should be implemented. The system provides a number of default assignment options, but most importantly, it provides the ability to externalize the assignment of tasks so an organization can define the assignment criteria that meets their specific requirements. For example, this could be an individual or team assignment based on an LDAP, SAP or Oracle system. Simply put, the assignment is based on a defined label, like the word Help Desk, Manager or Team A, whatever you want really. The label is then given meaning in the form of a web service call, which in turn runs the business logic created to manage the task assignment. Custom task lists can also be developed using the Ebase Xi platform. Task assignment and security is covered in more detail in other videos located in the Resource Centre. One of the great benefits of using the Ebase Xi platform is that it's a single technology toolset, so once you can use one aspect of the system, it's very easy to use it all. This reusability of skills increases productivity, helping to make your projects more successful. If we open up one of the decision points in the workflow process, we can see that all business logic is implemented using Xi's built-in business language, known as Forms Processing Language, or FPL. The same goes for the final system task and the implementation of its functionality. This means that from within the workflow process, we can talk to databases, send emails, call web services, start new workflow jobs, and much more. Another powerful feature is the built-in workflow tester. Before deploying the process or releasing new versions, users are able to carry out end-to-end testing from within the designer. By clicking the play icon, users are presented with the process tester. From here they can step through each task as if the process was being run for real. All interactive and system tasks can be enacted, and their associated business logic tested. A graphical representation of the process is displayed, and each task is ticked off as it completes. Now, before we end this video tour, let's take a quick look at a more sophisticated business process. The process shown on screen was designed to support a change management system for a large telecommunications client and incorporates both nested business processes and parallel processing streams. It has complex decision points and implements task assignment using an Oracle HR structure. So, to sum up, the Ebase Xi Business Process Manager is a powerful, easy-to-use, enterprise-level workflow development system capable of meeting the needs of the most sophisticated and complex business processes. Thank you for your time, and please visit the Ebase Resource Centre to discover more about what Ebase Xi can do for you.